It's Words and Music at our Riverside Revival studio for WMOT Roots Radio with the Boxmasters in the house. How are you?
Good.
Great. Thanks for having us.
So good to have you. So good to have you back in Nashville.
Yeah, we get here fairly often, but sometimes it's not because we're playing here. Sometimes it's for press, or as a matter of fact, that's why we're here this time. Plus, we got a listening party for a concept album we made. The label always loves to hear it when you come and say, we have a 75-minute concept album, about the death of our society. It's like, what do you think? What's the
joy.
single?
Yeah,
What's the single?
exactly.
I don't hear a hit.
It's 9.5 minutes long. Yeah.
We do an edit. I love that. So are you doing that?
Yes.
Wow.
We actually are having a listening tonight over at RCA.
Way cool.
It started out at a dozen people, and now it's 45, I think. So, that's the way it happens.
Yeah, Nashville is a little magnet city, friends tell friends, and the next thing you know, it's a zeitgeist.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, we'd called a couple of friends and said, hey, who do you think needs to hear this? Who might be able to help us kind of figure out how to do it? Because it is not a traditional just record full of songs, and definitely doesn't have singles, I don't think, in it that would go anywhere. But it's very timely. We started this record 16 years ago, and it's even more relevant now than it was when we started writing it. So we wrote most of the stuff back then in 2010, but Billy called me at midnight one night about a couple of months ago and said, I think we need to finish this right now. And it was like, okay, we'll start on it tomorrow. And so we dusted it off and started putting new stuff on it, because when we did it 16 years ago, we didn't have a lot of the instruments that we have now. It's like, oh, we could hear that with different things and maybe some more keyboards or different guitar sounds, or maybe we need to change a word here or there or something. But once we dove into it, it was like, wow, this makes more sense now than it did even when we did it originally.
Can I ask what was going on in 2010 that caused the big bang for this?
Well, I don't know if you can use this language or not, but I had a bee up my ass about the way things were going in our society. And this record doesn't have a particular political bent. It talks about everybody who doesn't make sense. Essentially, it's like, how does this make sense? So it's really the story of if you would say there's a central character, it's not a person, it's, let's say, the spirit of a person. And it's about this spirit of this person who was raised during the heyday of rock and roll and trying to figure out how they fit into today's society. And it's profane. Let's imagine that the Who's Tommy or Quadrophenia, only if Frank Zappa had a hand in it. And so, in terms of some of the humor, it gets pretty crass. So, anyway, we just thought we got to put this out now, because now more than ever, this is going on. So we predicted a lot of things in actually 2009 when we first started writing stuff for it. We predicted a lot of things that sure enough are happening now. And I told people back then, I told my wife, I remember I said, watch and see. The social media and the internet in general is going to get out of control to the point where it's really going to start to affect people in ways that are just, emotionally and spiritually damaging, all the way to downright dangerous. And it was like, yeah, but it's fun, watching cats on skateboards or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, I get that. I mean, yeah, if you want to use AI to show a buffalo go into a Starbucks and order a coffee, okay, fine, that's innocent enough, But once it starts affecting people's lives and taking jobs away from people and taking the art out of life, because art is by nature a vision of someone. And I mean, personally, I don't believe in it unless there are regulations, I'll say. Anyway, that's what dinosaurs are about, because they call us dinosaurs. If you still believe in, should I say this? Should I tell you what happened, which
Sure.
maybe start actually thinking about this? I was talking to this woman one time on a set, and of something. It might have been Travis Tritt's commercial or something, or video, whatever it was. I can't remember. Anyway, so I was talking to her, and she was quite a bit younger than me, and like everybody else. Anyway, so I was talking about music with her, and she said, "Well, you're kind of a dinosaur, aren't you?" And she goes, "I don't know who that is or this is." I said, "Do me a favor, go home, take a sheet of notebook paper, write down everybody from about 1980 to now who will be in the history books 100 years from now, who will be considered icons and legends. Just write them down." And she started naming a few off just off the top of her head. He goes, "Well, Prince and nope, before that was before 80. Don't start with 1980. And the Police, nope. U2, nope. Bruce Springsteen, nope. Michael Jackson, nope." So I was able to just say none of that. All that started before. And then I said, now take out another sheet of paper and start writing down the icons and legends starting in about 1955 to 1975. You don't have enough paper in your house to write them all down. So call me a dinosaur, but I'm just saying, yeah.
Well, what's interesting about that is it was so much easier, believe it or not, to become a household name back in those days than it is now. Mm-hmm. And that even for the people that are household names, Lady Gaga comes to mind.
Yeah.
You still can't sing her music except for maybe one song or two.
Right.
It's not penetrating. Yeah. Where people like Prince, the art penetrated households. It's really hard to do that today, especially with music. Mm-hmm. And, don't get me started on the whole post-literate world that we live in.
Oh, yeah.
Because really, so many people get their information just from what they're seeing on YouTube or Facebook or Insta. They're not digging deep. They're not reading about it. They're just watching a video.
Well, the dumber we are, the better they like it. So, And I go off on a tangent.
That's all right. It's why we're here. We are the antidote. So let's talk about this being your 21st album. That doesn't seem possible, but I know it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of music.
21 albums.
It is. And honestly, it's like I was thinking about it earlier, because we started working together in 2006, and we did 3 records pretty quickly in 2007, 8, 9. And then we didn't put anything out for a few years until 2015. And so really it's like over the 20 years that we've been together, we've put out 18 records in the last 10, 11 years. So it's like the amount of stuff that we've done is staggering when you actually sit and start doing the math. And honestly, here on number 21, I feel like, well, you always think the new one's your baby, and it's like, it's special because it's new, and it's like, but we are a band that has gotten better kind of every year, and our confidence grows with each release, and I just feel like we just know more every year about what is our sound and how do we do it together. And this one, it's called In the Bay, and it was mostly started by Billy being up in Morrow Bay, California, and where his daughter goes to college at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. And he would bring me these bits that he would write while he was sitting there at the bay. And everything came so quickly and effortlessly. It's like I get nervous talking about it because it came so easily. Everything just flowed. And we wrote all these songs really quickly. And then we had them mostly done and we played them for the rest of the guys in the band. And somebody pointed out, hey, this record has a real Beach Boys, Pet Sounds influence to it. And it was like, my mind was blown. It's like, because we didn't go into it thinking, oh, this is what we're going to do. This is our intention, is to make a Brian Wilson influenced record. Just we're influenced by Brian Wilson and the Beatles and Kinks and everybody that, you know, we've grown up loving. And you just can't help it. Those things just come out of you. But until it was pointed out, it's like we didn't really know that that's what we were doing. But once we did, we leaned into it really hard. And it's like, oh, okay, if that's what we're doing, let's do it in the best way we possibly can. And it's like, let's really show those influences and let's pay tribute to what Brian did and how much he means to us.
We mixed it differently even. I mean, we were probably not going to mix it the way we did. But once we kind of caught on to that, wait a minute, this is our little pathetic attempt at a Pet Sounds. You know, it's like, let's do that. And so when we mixed it, there were things that we did that were things that, like he might have done, you know what I mean? And we also started to use some of our stranger instruments on it. Yeah.
A collection of stranger instruments in the back room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many people are in the band?
There are 6 of us on stage, and in the studio, for the most part these days, 4 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but on this one, I mean, you know, most of our band guys live in Florida. One of them lives in Nashville here. And so it's not super easy for everyone to come meet up in the studio as much as we like to record. So on this one, you know, it's pretty much just Billy and I. And then we had our longtime friend and former Boxmaster, Teddy Andriotis, came in and played some piano and organ, maybe. I can't remember exactly what all he did. And then another friend, Ann King, came in and played trumpet on a few songs. And she just destroyed everything that she did.
Awesome.
She's so good. And so it's really just the 4 of us. But you know, we just have some friends come in when we need something that we can't do. But, you know, over the years, there's not that much that we don't feel like we can do. We can figure out how to make some sounds that maybe 5 years ago we couldn't do. But now it's like, especially with our own studio, it's like we have the space, we have most of the equipment. It's like we can figure out how to make a record in a way that pleases us, at least. And that's usually what we're going for, is like, are we happy with this? Okay, if we're happy with it, then that's really what matters.
I love the pocket that this is in. It's maybe my favorite era for you guys. I love the harmonies. I love the 60s vibe of it. You know, there's just that great pop sensibility from the 60s that is alive and well. What are you going to play for us first?
Well, this first thing is from last record, right?
Yeah, Pepper Tree Hill.
From Pepper Tree Hill record. And that's there's a song called Feels Like Peace, which is really just a song about peace.
Everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's listen to it.
So this song, we're going to do a song called It Feels Like Peace. And essentially it's just a song that when we play it live, we actually have a peace sign on the screen behind us. It's really a song about how, you know, let's just drop the crap and get along with people. You know, it's so dumb. And at the end of the day, most people really want the same things, but they just won't admit it because of their various anomalies, let's say. It's called It Feels Like Peace.
Down the night Don't be afraid. Don't let your life rest on that blade. Now don't hurt me, I won't hurt you. I know you'll see another point of view. Now how does it feel? Now how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? It feels like peace. It feels like air. When you release, it's fair and square. It feels like peace. It feels like sky. Thunder can cease. Lay down and cry. You have a heart, it beats like mine. It's a work of art that got out of line. Now don't hurt me, I won't hurt you. I know you'll see it's who you wanna be. Now how does that feel? How does that feel? How does that feel? How does that feel? It feels like peace. It feels like air. When you release, it's fair and square. It feels like peace. It feels like sky. Thunder can cease. Lay down and cry.
Yeah. And that's not all of the song. We normally have a long guitar solo in there, and then we do an out chorus where we start screaming and stuff. But for an acoustical type setting, I think that was the way to do it. This next one is, well, it's about Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven. And sometimes, depending on what area we happen to be in and what type of audience it is, when I say, does anyone remember Edgar Allan Poe, it's crickets. But, you know, most people get it, you know. Sometimes I apologize for, you know, writing smart stuff. But anyway, what this is really about, he wrote this beautiful poem, The Raven, with love, hope, joy, desperation, sorrow, paranoia, everything in the world. And we always ask the audience, who was the subject of this particular poem, The Raven? And her name was Lenore. So we wrote a song about this called The Light of Lenore.
Oh friend, I can appreciate your wisdom and advice. I'm afraid you're here a bit too late. Your kindness won't suffice. I thank you, friend, for sharing, but I'm far beyond the caring. The blackbird's eyes are bearing a message that is glaring. Lenore, turn the light on. She can never put it out. Lenore, turn the light on. And it dances all about. Lenore, turn the light on. There's darkness where it shines. Lenore left the light on. a love that missed the signs. And outside my door waits nevermore in the wake of the Light of Lenore. It's not enough to take a walk or think about the bright side. To me the words are idle talk aimed at a heart that died. I thank you, friend, for sharing, but I'm far beyond the caring. The blackbird's eyes are bearing a message that is glaring. Lenore, turn the light on, she can never put it out. Lenore, turn the light on, and it dances all about. Lenore, turn the light on, there's darkness where it shines. Lenore left the light on, a love that missed the signs. And outside my door waits nevermore in the wake of the Light of Lenore.
In the studio at the Boxmasters for Words of Music for WMOT, J.D., Billy, and one more on stage just now.
Yes, Kirk McKim, who is our long time lead guitar player and like a brother to us. And, he's Raymond Hardy, who's our bass player, and Kirk and us, we all go way back. And we're the sort of four veterans, and we got Kirk years ago from a pet adoption place. He was they thought no, I'm teasing. No, we got him actually through a friend of ours, in town here, and there was another guy who was another guitar player had blown up, like in Spinal Tap. So we got this guy, but he had a pretty important gig, but he thought he could do the tour with us. He pulled out 2 weeks before the tour and said, sorry, I got to go with my boss. And it's like, well, yeah, that's awesome, but, and then our other friend who introduced us to that guy said, I have this other friend, Kirk McKim. I think you might like this guy. It was one of those things that happens when you're so glad it did. In other words, what seemed like a tragedy and a mess turned into something that has become the core unit of this band, And yeah, Kirk is originally from Houston and LaPorte, to be specific, and now lives in Florida. I mean, like J.D. said, most of the guys, the crew and band, are in Florida, except the two of us in California.
Let's talk touring, because you play some really cool places. For instance, Stagecoach.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
It was awesome. We loved Stagecoach, actually. I mean, it used to be that Stagecoach was known more for country. Now it was like we're on a bill with like Bush and Journey and, all these different people. Pitbull was there. And it's like, so, it's like in a little kid's book or something. Which ones of these things go together? But anyway, it was great. And what happened is right after we just came off stage, and the wind picked up to like 50 miles an hour.
Oh, it wasn't even off stage. We were still on stage when everybody started running away.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we didn't really
right.
quite realize what was going on. We just knew some people were leaving, and there was hay falling from the sky. Yeah. I thought it was ash. I thought it looked like when something's on fire and it's just raining down on us. And we were like, what's going on here? So we finished our set and, just immediately ran back to the compound where the buses are. And kind of got on in our spot and kind of hid out. And then they're like, they called a mandatory evacuation. And so we were there, and we were getting ready to head back home as they were doing that, and everybody's leaving and going, "Oh, what's going on?" And then they opened it back up, and so then everybody was angry because they
didn't know to
they
come
thought it was
back.
canceled. They thought they'd canceled the whole rest of the night, and so people were angry about that. But
And if you were a comic in the Catskills back in the old days, you would say, anyway, the story is we still finished the show.
Yeah. The show must go on. So what was it? Was it like a weather
it
thing?
was just
or?
wind.
The
Wow.
usual. Out in that area, Indio, Palm Springs area, it's always crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the week before,
2 weeks. Yeah,
the
the
2 weeks
Coachella
before
had been-
Coachella, it blew everything over. Yeah, it's just that's what happens out there, So
Yeah.
but it was awesome.
Let's talk about playing the caverns.
Oh yeah, Cavern Club. Yeah, that was awesome. So we obviously grew up as Beatle fans like everybody else, and it's just legendary place. I had played there before in my solo band before the Boxmasters, so I'd already have my name and a brick on the wall in the alley, which they do for you when you play there. And it's a tiny place where the Beatles played, and who wouldn't want to go there? The only thing is now they've kind of built up, everything eventually becomes Universal City Walk. And so now there's like Beatle hotels and Beatle boutiques and all this kind of stuff. And when I first went there, it was just, a creepy old moldy place. It was awesome. But we had a wonderful time there in Liverpool. And, there's just something... There's something in our blood that makes you gravitate toward that time and the Mersey beat in Liverpool and everything. Yeah, it was awesome.
Are there places that you still aspire to play that you haven't yet?
Well, we just talked about that the other day. I think the only thing left, because we've opened for a lot of huge names. We played the big Enormo domes and this kind of stuff, and we've played, excuse me, we've played the places that, I guess, at least at our level, Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, or we
So
played,
great. I love that.
a Green Hall in New Braunfels, and just so many places.
Yeah, Cain's Ballroom.
Cain's Ballroom,
Sorry.
so. And now we're playing the Ryman, and we've did the Opry and tried to figure out how can we sound country. And we've managed to. But anyways, so we've covered a lot of them. But I think, and we opened for the Who, last year. Yeah.
Be Still My Heart.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
And a couple of shows with the Who, and got standing ovations both nights, which was awesome. So we're so humbled by that. I think we're probably good, but if we had to name a place, I would say would be the ones that we grew up seeing some of our heroes from England play, like Royal Albert Hall, maybe would be at the top of the list. I would say, yeah.
So great.
No.
It's good to have goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I tell the guys this all the time. I said, look, when we were kids, we set the bar so high because we all wanted to be the Beatles.
Sure.
So the bar is set so high, you're never going to reach it. That's what makes you stay hungry and makes you keep. We still look at ourselves as a garage band who's trying to make it, even though we started out with, naysayers and not a whole heck of a lot going on, and we just go up and up and up. So sometimes you get down on your knees at night and you say, God, why did you let this band become successful when we're so old? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you give us this when we were 25 or something, But it's like, well, next year's tour, and we're like, I hope so, But anyway, but yeah, we have such respect for that time, and particularly the British invasion affected all of us, and but the bar is set so high, and when you can never reach it, you just keep trying, and each album you try harder, and you get better, as a singer, drummer, guitar player, whatever it is, because you keep studying. You keep listening to your heroes.
I love all this. And I'm so happy you made In the Bay and that you came and hung out with us today for Words of Music. Thank you.
Thank you.
Billy,
Thank you.
J.D., Jessie Scott for WMOT Roots Radio. Words of Music comes to you with support from the Bow Foundation and its founder, George Bodecker.